There are so many ranks in the Chinese army. For some people, what each rank means and the order in which they progress can be confusing. In this video, we look at a simple guide to Chinese army ranks in order. Private. This is the first and therefore lowest rank in the People's Liberation Army. Although by law Chinese citizens must serve some form of military service, the majority of soldiers at this rank will be volunteers rather than conscripted into the army. Senior Private. A soldier will attain this rank following 1 year of service. They will have learned the ways of the army, but generally at the end of their second year, they may leave altogether, following service to their country. Junior Sergeant. For those wishing to make a career out of the army, the next rank is Junior Sergeant. At this level, they will begin to take on more leadership roles within small units, and can be the second in command of a squad. They will usually need around 3 years to move on to the next rank. Sergeant. A sergeant will typically have around 5 to 6 years experience within the army and begin to receive more advanced leadership and tactical training. They will more often than not be in charge of a squad or other small unit. Senior Sergeant. At the Senior Sergeant rank, the soldier will begin to fulfill and be trained in more technical roles. They will usually have to attain some form of degree at an army school and continue their education to advance through the next ranks. Master Sergeant 4th Class. This rank is the lowest of 4 classes of the Master Sergeant rank. They will have attained several years of experience at the Senior Sergeant rank to progress here, and will usually begin to specialise in certain areas of the army. Master Sergeant 3rd Class. This is the first of 3 considered to be a senior NCO rank. Holding this rank will require the soldier to have completed further study. Within a unit, they may take on advanced educational roles or hold jobs in administration. Master Sergeant 2nd Class. A 2nd Class Master Sergeant will have spent several years in the 3rd Class role and be considered one of the most senior members of a unit. They will usually provide guidance and training to the junior NCOs and other soldiers. Master Sergeant 1st Class. This rank is the highest of the soldier ranks and will usually take 10 to 15 years of service at least to attain the rank. This means they are extremely experienced and often relied upon to be a conduit between the soldiers and the officers. Trainee. This rank is held by those attending an officer training school, and as they progress and successfully complete their training, they will move on to the first of the officer ranks. Second Lieutenant. A second lieutenant is considered a junior officer role and will usually take the role as a platoon leader. They will still rely on their senior NCOs at this point, as their experience will need time to evolve. First Lieutenant. Within the PLA, a First Lieutenant can take on the role as a second in charge of a company. They will have gained much experience by this time and look to further their career with more education. Captain. A captain will typically be in charge of a company and may have anywhere from 8 to 10 years experience by this stage. In non-combat roles, they may be placed in charge of larger groups of soldiers. Major. A major is the first of the field grade officer ranks. They can usually take command of a battalion, which is the equivalent of 3 companies. By this stage, they have proven themselves as efficient and effective leaders. Lieutenant Colonel. A lieutenant colonel may be placed second in command of a regiment, or take on further non-combat roles within education and training schools. Colonel. A colonel will usually take command of a regiment and by this point have well over 20 years' experience in the army. They have received extensive training and are looked up to by junior officers as an example of leadership. Senior Colonel. This is the highest of the field grade officer ranks. The senior colonel may take command of a division, and at this level, answer to the general staff. Major General. The lowest of the general ranks, a major general will likely be in charge of an army group. They will usually be involved at a government level at this point. Lieutenant General. A lieutenant general may take command of a whole area or theatre in times of war or for training purposes. Much the same as the major general, their ties at the government level are high. General. This is the highest rank in the People's Liberation Army. A general will hold high esteem within the government as well as the army itself. They have the ability to make effective changes to the army, but would not typically take command of groups of soldiers. What did you think of the ranks of the Chinese army? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to expand your knowledge and join the growing Premier History community.